Hey guys, so I just wanted to do another video here since I did my first video where, I was kind of confused as to why I ended up competing and all that kind of stuff a couple weeks ago. So I just wanted to discuss a little bit on how it all came to be. So I work at basically a studio that does group fitness classes, and we had someone coming into the studio. His name is Greg with Biometrics. Amazing guy. If you are local to Alberta and are interested in getting a VO2 max test or your body fat analysis done. But anyways, he was coming in on May 28th, and I hadn't been too strict with my diet at the time. I was just kind of, going with the flow, trying to put on a little bit of mass and all that kind of jazz. But he was doing this test, and he was also coming back in another 6 weeks. So I thought this is a great opportunity for me to really, hunker down for 6 weeks and see how much I could do and how much I could change my body in 6 weeks. And it's always good to, start with something that's a good measurement of your starting and do it again at the end so you can see. It's so hard when you see yourself every day to really see how much you've accomplished in that 6 weeks. So anyways, this is basically the sheet that prints out after you've done your test. So it gives you your body weight, it gives you your body fat mass, your lean body mass, and how much water is in your body, extracellular water, intercellular water, all that little stuff. Something that I found really interesting in it was it does show your lean body analysis in each arm and each leg. And I know personally, I can feel it when I'm at the gym that one leg is stronger than the other, and it literally is a full pound off. Like I have a full pound extra of lean mass on my right leg compared to my left. So, sheesh, I got to get that in order. And, it's one of those things I knew, but to see it on paper makes you really want to work a little bit harder at repairing that. And you know what? That's probably why all my hip issues are on that same side, right? Because it just can't keep up. Who knows? You never know. So once I have that balanced out, maybe I'll have a little bit less hip pain, which would be awesome. One thing it also gives you is your actual BMR, which is really awesome information to have, especially when you're trying to diet, or actually even if you're trying to put on lean mass. Because basically, if you're trying to lose, you're trying to eat 500 calories less than you need. And if you're trying to gain, maybe starting 500 calories more than you need in a day. And having that number is just going to speed up that process, is figuring out what those numbers are for you so much faster. So it's always an adjustment game. It's always, making changes based on your results, but at the same time having one of those numbers to start with rather than just using 15 times your body weight and winging it and then having to change really, really gradually as you go. It's great to have that number right off the bat for yourself. So when it comes to the types of ways that you can test your body fat percentage or test your body composition, definitely the most accurate ways are to do underwater testing or bod pod testing. They're not readily available for you, so I thought this was a great alternative. They're coming to my work. So, what can get more convenient than that, right? So that's why I did it this way. So when it comes down to all these ways of testing, don't get focused too much on that number, but get focused on the change in that number, okay? So even if you're using calipers, you don't even need to, this is how I normally do it, using the caliper. I'll do a waist measurement, a tricep measurement, and a thigh measurement. You can do way more if you want it to be even more accurate. But it's not necessarily about the body fat. I don't even check exactly what the body fat is from those numbers. I just check that those numbers are getting lower, right? And that I'm staying quite lean. So when I did my after test, I wasn't looking at what number it was, but I was looking at the percentage of change that I had over the 6 weeks. So what happened as I was getting kind of into the 5th week, so basically a 6-week prep, because it was 6 weeks till he was coming back, and I was getting into the 5th week, which came down to the deadlines for these competitions and stuff, and people were kind of saying to me, are you competing soon? Like, you're getting lean and all that kind of stuff. And so then you know, it started like like I wasn't planning on doing competition, but I was trying to get lean. Okay. So, you know, my wheels started spinning and I'm like, you know what? You know, I love being on stage. So why not? Like, why not go for it? And, so yeah, I ended up going for it. When I went for the test, I actually didn't do my after test until after the competition was over, so the following weekend. And I'd actually, in that 6 weeks, keeping in mind that I was already fairly lean to begin with because I stay fairly lean throughout the year, I lost 5% body fat in those 6 weeks. So I'm pretty impressed with that. I did lose a little bit of lean mass. I lost a couple pounds of lean mass in that 6 weeks, but it could have been way worse. And I attribute that to, you know, the way that I diet, the things that I've learned over time, and not doing too much cardio. I never did more than 3 days a week of cardio, and, you know, all that stuff that I've learned over time. So one thing that I really did notice, I'll show you pictures of how I track things in this video. So I track things on a spreadsheet. I'm crazy, I know. I love to see how things change, and I love experimenting with my body. So I have spreadsheets of what week to week looks like, what I was doing during that week, what my calorie ranges were, how much cardio I did, you know, all that kind of stuff. So looking back on it with comparing my caliper measurements to what Greg did for me, the numbers weren't the same, but what was interesting was the change in body fat over the amount of time with my calipers and his measurements. Both of them I lost 5% body fat. So I thought that was pretty cool. So it kind of shows that no matter how you're tracking, it is tracking your progress, whether the number is correct or not. It's showing you how your changes are affecting your body, which is awesome. That's really all you want, right? You want to see if it's working, and really the number means nothing to me. I just want to see that it's working, and that if it's not, I have to change something to make it work. So that's one of the things that I found most interesting about it, is that both ways of tracking kind of came out to the exact same when people are saying that this is inaccurate or this is inaccurate, or, you know, don't do that way, do this way, and blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. As long as you're not interested in the number, it doesn't matter what your method. And obviously this is the cheapest method, you may as well go with that, right? As long as you are sure you're using the same spots every time and keeping it consistent, then that's all you need. So anyways, now that it is post competition, I'm back to, you know, eating a little bit more calories. Over the last couple of weeks, I've gained 2 pounds. So I'm staying pretty much the same. I can feel like, you know, my belly doesn't look quite the same, but other than that, I'm feeling great. A little bit more carb in my diet, and a lot less cardio. That's really what I change the most. I hate cardio, so as soon as I'm not in prep or trying to lose weight, that's the first thing to leave. And I still get my heart rate up using my weights, so I do get my heart health in daily, so I'm not too concerned about that. And planning a mud run with people from my work, so that's going to be coming up. And so I have a few different kind of things to train for, but of course I'm, you know, going right back to trying to build muscle, and maybe I'll be meeting up with Greg again in another 6 weeks, see maybe whether I put on some muscle. So I don't know if it will be exactly 6 weeks, but when I do that, I will let you guys know what the results were. And yeah, I just thought this would be something interesting to share, and I hope you share it along if you found it helpful, and we will talk to you soon.